That the original when it came natural.
We had that.
Yeah, you guys did. I couldn't jump in on that.
You could have done the bum 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 bum.
Well, I know that the song, but I don't know like the exact like. So I didn't want to ruin it. But like,
thank you for
the original
that process. Then,
Mr. Mom.
Yeah, that was good,
dude.
Ooh, yeah. I like how we all hit that 3-part harmony at the end of that one. We did Mr. And then one of us went, Mom.
That's him.
Of all the songs we could sing, of all the things we could do. Yeah. Oh, God.
Pampers melt in the Maytag dryer. No, it's not. It's not. We'll get going.
No.
Although I pointed up, like, what are you doing?
It's just like, stop.
You know what I love in songs like that where in the beginning of the song it's rewind Barney for the 15th time and then later it's for the 18th time.
Yeah, it keeps going up as it goes. So something about the sound effects, somebody pointed out that in one of the episodes we did that the record scratch, they're like, the record scratch kind of scared me. I was listening. And it like,
because it scratches when he said somebody's last name.
Yeah, I said somebody's name.
I said Santi's last name.
Yeah, you can't do that. Yeah, and they got him good. They posted in the comment, they're like, the record scratch was a little scary. I didn't like it. It's like, I'm sorry to everyone out there. This is pre-production, and then we go into post-production, and honestly, some of the sounds come through so much louder than I'm expecting to because I don't think they're all the same. So, yeah, I apologize.
Oh, well. We're doing our best.
We're doing what we can. God, yeah. Oh,
shit.
Oh, I was still at Trey. Remember when I was talking a couple weeks ago about my drunk computer teacher?
Oh, please.
Welcome back to Nostalgia Land, by the way.
Oh, yeah, welcome back. Welcome back to Nostalgia Land. I'm Tyler. That's Matt and Trey.
We're rolling.
We are rolling. We're doing this, but I was talking about my drunk computer teacher.
I'm all
your
technically
computer
our
lab
typing,
monitor.
Our typing teacher, I guess is what she was.
Yeah, that's a skill now.
It's Mavis Beacon.
I had a
Mavis
friend
Beacon.
of the show and a great friend from high school reach out and say, "Oh yeah, she was wasted." She had alcohol in her water bottle for sure.
There's gonna be alcohol on our table in a second.
Then we started talking about other teachers at the time and stuff. It was very funny. He's like, just catching up on the show. Yeah. She was wasted. I'm like, yeah, dude, for sure. Sweet. That's awesome.
I want some of these people to call in. Like, I would love.
We don't do a radio show.
Like, we can have them. I have capabilities here on the board. They can leave. They can call me or call you and leave a voicemail.
Like Theo Von does?
Yeah. And like we could just listen to the voicemail.
Yeah, this
I
cat
love that.
Got my Cat Williams. Merry Christmas, y'all.
Merry Christmas, yeah.
Dude, he's so funny, man.
I love that guy. And then Shane McGillis has been on like all my Instagram feeds and everything. And then
Shane Gillis?
Yeah, Shane Gillis. Sorry, not McGillis. Yeah,
no, his cousin Shane McGillis
from Ireland.
No, the other one. Oh, my wife discovered him too, and she started sending me a bunch of this. Like, this guy's hilarious,
dude. So funny. I love it because he's unapologetic. He says whatever. It's like it's comedy.
Dude, that
it's
was like
Jim
down
to earth.
It's comedy.
That was like Jim Gaffigan back in the day. We couldn't go like 3 minutes.
Referencing
Beyond the Veil.
Yeah.
You kind of like have to think through just like moments like that we know. Okay, that was like Jim Gaffigan when he got really big. And you kind of think, for me, it's like remembering, like, okay, well, like, who's the next big person that we're all going to be talking about?
Dane Cook.
Yeah. And then we had Dane Cook, and then, like,
Cat Williams.
I mean, the next.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Kevin Hart.
Well,
no, but he's saying, like, the next one.
Oh, like who the next one is going to be?
Because we see clips and little clips of the comedians. And
I thought you wanted, like, a timeline of, like, people
I would love
it
if Pete Holmes went huge. He's hilarious.
Yeah, dude.
He's got his
Netflix. He's got his Netflix, and he's doing this. He's doing a new series on YouTube. Sorry, he's doing a new thing on YouTube. Bat canned. Where he's Batman and firing people. It's like, what are you doing?
Those Batman skits from back in the day.
The best one is like when they have him in the police lineup and he's trying to get him to say that he's Batman. He's like, really? You want me to say it?
I love this most recent one. He's like, you're going to open mouth kiss my butler? I know what I said.
At one part, they're like, well, what about if you're wearing hockey pads? He's like, I'm not wearing hockey pads.
Speaking of voices, and impressions.
Oh, jeez.
I want to see how long we can go because today we're talking about that. I don't even know how to place this. It's a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
It's a movie.
It's a movie.
And it's entertaining. Yeah, as your wife would put it. It's a movie.
It's there. Yeah. We're talking about the 1996 Jingle All the Way with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Should have called it Turbo Man.
Yeah, something. I guess Jingle All the Way works, but I wanted to see how long we could do.
Do they even play
A Schwarzenegger impression.
Jingle Bells in that movie?
No, I don't think that
seems like a missed opportunity.
So Trey, I think I know you got one. Tyler, I'm so excited to hear to see how long.
$94 for pizza.
Hey, turn it on over there. We're talking as Arnold. All right, let me hear it.
You can't make me.
Before I start,
Yes,
I just
I
want to hear
can.
Tyler go, $94?
$94 for some pizza?
For some pizza?
Hey, I'm walking here.
Just every alter ego impression you do.
Can you do Arnold Schwarzenegger? Hey, I'm walking here.
You gotta do your new. You gotta do
It's
your
all
New
I
York.
got.
This is
I was just a fatter New York.
oh God,
Wait till
please.
we do Home Alone 2.
Be in my element.
It's all you in that movie. You're going to do New York. You get to have your New York accent.
Get to the chopper.
Can't do it. There it is. That was good.
That's the only one I can do.
Give me a little. Give me the Turbo Man.
I'm sick and tired of hearing about this Turbo Man.
No,
There it is.
I've had enough to hear this Turbo guy.
It's up to here. Oh my God! When I was making this movie, I was like,
Myron, I think you're a great guy. Nope, there was back to New York. What the hell is wrong with me?
that's my favorite Arnold.
Dylan, you son of a bitch. I'm a cop, you idiot.
is that when they
They do the super
like freaking
handshake.
like the super
The mega
action?
powers unite.
Oh my
Yeah,
God!
the most impressive arms you've ever seen in your life, and they're like,
Good Lord!
That's Macho Man Randy Savage and Hulk Hogan.
Oh man. Okay, so this whole movie, I'm like, is this a Christmas movie or is this like a shot at Christmas? Because like the whole thing is like commercialism. It's like that they're searching for this.
It's a PSA not to do your Christmas shopping on Christmas Eve.
And then also I felt like it was coming after when Toy Story came out in '95, and there was no Buzz Lightyears to be found.
Yep.
And everybody was going nuts.
that's part of why the movie was written.
Yeah, and then was it Tickle Me Elmo? Was the
Same year.
Same year was Tickle Me Elmo? Yeah.
When the movie, yeah, dude,
Same.
do you remember?
Same year.
I remember.
Tickle Me
a lot.
Elmo was the last one that was on that level.
Like
N64.
no, dude,
Tickle
they had
Me
enough
Elmo
of those.
Was insane.
Yeah,
I remember the N64 being like a big thing.
like
Yeah.
it was a big thing, but there was
But I'm
enough.
saying like a doll that every child wanted. And I was like
I didn't want one.
10. No, I was 12, I guess, when it came out.
Yes.
And I was sitting there thinking to myself,
I don't want it.
who the hell wants this doll? It's so creepy. You like touch it and it's like like all weird and oh no, I was not about it.
Pee's a little. It's really strange. It's just the weirdest.
I was not about it. But yeah, it was crazy. Like the watching the footage on the news and stuff of these just like Jingle All the Way. Like running through stores, fighting with people.
People smashing.
But now we will never have that
nostalgic
again.
for going to Toys R Us.
It's coming back. Making a comeback.
Yeah, but not that one. That one's now a Chevy dealer.
Yeah.
oh,
sure.
the one. Yeah,
But
the
the
US
one down south is
If
an
you go-
Ace Hardware.
if you go around back,
AutoZone.
If you go around back, that
Still
Chevy
up.
dealership still has signs that says Toys R Us customer service.
Bring it back. Bring it back now. Yeah. No, people post online all the time, like on Instagram. They're like, okay, you got to bring one of them back. And it was like, it was like Tamagotchis, Toys R Us, Radio Shack, and like Pizza Huts. I'm like, bring back Toys R Us. Like, I want my kids to know the experience of like going into a toy store completely dedicated to their experience, like to their lives. And it's absolutely amazing. Like right before they closed, we went and I took my youngest, she was 3 at the time, and I was like, oh man, I'm a terrible dad. I didn't bring. This is the first time
She's
we're bringing
3,
her.
dude.
Don't be so
bringing
hard on
her.
yourself.
I'm bringing her, and I was like, they're closing. Like,
Eddie,
this
it's your
is
fault.
it. No, but she was loving it.
You couldn't do it.
I was trying to do what I could.
That's
This was
pretty
my
good.
daughter. I wanted her to experience life.
It's not bad.
I realized that my ability to do impressions is shot because of how much I screamed at my television during football.
Oh yeah.
Oh, because of who's watching football? Well, we can't. This is out of
I don't want to date it. I just said. All I said was I was watching football.
Okay. You're dating a team you love. One
Team I love.
Yeah.
Take my heart, but not the team.
I'll trade you a Turbo Man for victory.
Oh man.
Now, the question that I have when it comes to this movie for you guys,
Yeah.
who is your wet noodle?
Jamie.
Okay.
Or
Man.
the other kid.
Okay.
Tom Hartman.
Phil Hartman.
Phil Hartman. I did it again.
SNL great.
You always want to call him Tom
Arnold.
Tom Arnold.
Yeah.
Because Arnold's in it.
Speaking of Tom Arnold and Jim Belushi, who I definitely confused. Jim Belushi in this is hilarious.
Yeah.
And that's hard to say.
That whole
sometimes
scene
because
is just like,
I don't like Jim Belushi in a lot of things, but in what he does is so funny. It's hysterical.
I can't remember the scene that he's in.
Oh man,
he's Santa.
He's running the Santa criminal ring.
Yeah.
And I got so
That's
much,
why I couldn't remember what
I
it
got
was because
so
he's covered
much
in the
beef.
Santa thing half the time.
I got so much beef with that scene because of the abuse of little people. And I'm going to defending little people in these movies because they make a lot of movies great and they get the shittiest
Is that
parts.
Paul White?
Yeah.
Is he the big
The
Santa?
Big Show. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's-
the little person that he's defending so vehemently is Vern Troyer.
Yeah,
It
that
is.
I knew.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before
Oh,
he was famous.
Burn Troy. Okay, so let's start. So this guy,
He wasn't the Big
Arnold
Show yet.
Schwarzenegger,
He was just
is
giant.
he's overworking.
Then probably, yeah.
He's in WCW.
Sorry,
Yeah.
where are we?
He wasn't the Big Show yet.
We're on
Paul
wrestling.
White.
We're on wrestling.
Sorry.
We're still
Yeah.
doing wrestling.
How would you like to
He was
snap
the-
neck
he was
from
the-
the chokes?
I'm out.
He was the giant.
I'm out.
Or just giant.
You were talking about something earlier with wrestling. We were like when we were setting up. What were you talking about with like there was?
Oh,
Yeah.
there's a line in Home Alone 2. There's a line in Home Alone 2 that I didn't fully understand until I
that's
was in
right.
like
Yeah.
middle school.
Yeah.
Because that's how into wrestling I was as a little kid. There's a part where
You're welcome.
Harry and Marv, they get Kevin like in the park.
Yeah.
And they're walking. And Marv's telling him their plan, and Harry keeps going, "Shut up, Marv!" And he's like, "Well, he's a kid. Who's gonna tell? Except maybe a fish or the Undertaker." And in my head, I was going, Why is he gonna talk to the Undertaker?
Why is he going to talk to the wrestler on WWE?
I didn't know that. Like that
Trey's
was,
like, why would Kevin McAllister talk to Mark Calloway?
Now, if he said, why is he, or he can talk
why would the Undertaker
Dashiki?
help
What's
the
his name?
kid? Rafik? No, that's the
That's the monkey.
Rikishi. I was thinking the monkey
Rikishi.
from the Lion
You were like, hot banana, squash banana, hot banana for you. You know what I forgot to bring up from Home Alone before we jump headlong into Jingle All the Way was
Which there's not long to jump into.
I was gonna say this movie's like an hour and 20 minutes.
it's a filler.
It's an easy. This
is a filler.
So please, if you got side quests, go on. This is the episode for
This is the episode of Journey. We're going to become journeymen.
This episode's called The Completion.
Oh, I need to put on like the Shire music. Like, let's just go on this unexpected journey.
No, but when they get arrested and they're going to the cop car, and he's like, "All right, remember, we're the wet bandits." And he's like, "So it's you guys who've been like flooding people's basements?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Oh, cool. Now we can attach you to all of those other crimes that you've
All the
committed."
other ones,
And,
yeah.
and Harry keeps screaming, "Shut up, Marv! Shut up, Marv!" And he's like, "Okay, now that's wet. W-E-T." Shut up, Marv!
That's
Shut
a
up.
continued gag. in the next
The call back to that in the second one where it's like, we're the sticky
T
I.
Oh, so Jingle All the Way. There's some parts of this movie that I had a really hard time with, and then there's other parts where I was like, okay, this is fun. This is
One of the
fine.
things I had a problem with, how does a
Okay.
mattress salesman make that much?
You're my number one customer. Is why you're my
Just
number
said
one.
to his
Yeah,
wife.
over and over again. So this overworking, not overworked. He just loves to work.
Yeah, everybody
Man.
else is partying, and
Yeah.
people are buying mattresses at 10 o'clock at night.
I guess so
7
because he's
o'clock at
number
night.
one customer. But he this dude. The whole point of it.
You're my number one customer.
Yeah, the hardest part
Wait.
for me with this
Wait.
movie was. Oh wait, sorry. I'm sorry.
We didn't answer the question. He said that to kids, "You're wet noodle."
Oh, my wet noodle. Honestly, it's Sinbad's character. The whole time.
I was curious because I think this may be for me throwing out Anakin Skywalker because he's garbage and everything. Poor kid.
Poor guy.
Poor
dude.
kid.
You. I
Yeah.
thought you were talking about Hayden Christensen. I'm like, dude, he's not that bad.
Dude, in the original trilogy, he's that bad. And anybody who says different is not honest with themselves. No,
But this kid in Jingle All The Way is crushing it. He was in Big Daddy. He was Anakin Skywalker.
Tyler's point of like whoever's lying to themselves. It's like you need to come back. You need to come to Jesus.
you
kind
need
of
to be
moment.
honest with yourself.
You need to like sit
you're
down.
not fooling me.
We try to convince.
Now, as we've said with every wet noodle, it could be a character choice for, the director is giving them that direction and it just does not play. So maybe that's what happened with Anakin. But there's a reason that he has the nickname Mannequin Anakin.
Jake Lloyd, who's the young
Kid's
Anakin.
crushing it.
He definitely crushed that first Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
And not in a good way.
Yeah, but he wipes his
So I
own
think that this is my first movie where the protagonist of the movie
Yeah.
is my wet noodle.
Wait. The
Arnold
protagonist-
himself.
Oh, Arnold himself. Okay.
Is
Wow.
the wet dude?
Yeah.
The guy.
All right.
Come on.
All right.
I mean, the acting. Now, granted, we're taking Jamie out because I'm right there with you, Trey. Like the kid is rough, and as rough can be, but kids are tough.
Jake Lloyd.
Jake Lloyd, Jamie, in the movie.
Yeah.
No, don't you mean Jamie?
Jamie.
But like, there's the whole scene where he's in the kid's room and he's doing like the weird karate stuff. And I'm like, dude, this is not hitting, man.
Forgot about
This is not hitting at all. And he's like,
Jamie, don't turn your back on your father.
I was like,
that was good.
Alex,
That was
I'm
good.
gonna work it out one
Keep
of these
it going.
days.
No, keep it
Hey,
going.
Jamie, don't turn your back on your father.
Hey, don't be doing
Hey,
that.
$94 on this damn turbo bed.
Forget about it. Forget about all of it. I forgot about your karate thing, so let's forget I'm my number one customer.
Well, and then like the lady comes in and you're not gonna make it in time. And he's like,
You're not gonna
oh,
make
I'm
it.
gonna make it.
I'm gonna make it.
I'm going to make it to my son's karate class. Yes. And then he's driving home and he's like, I'm going to make it.
I'm
and
gonna
drives
make it.
down the friggin' shoulder, and those are the people that you just want to run off the road.
Yeah.
You see them like in real
Yeah.
life where they're
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm a genius. I'm going to go on this. Like, yeah, we all could do that. And
I'm
then it
gonna
would
go
just
on
be
this-
another clogged lane of traffic.
He
you
drives
asshole.
on the shoulder and he gets pulled over.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're just like, oh, yeah, you're such, like you said, genius.
That's the most unbelievable part of this whole movie.
Is that the cop actually pulls him over?
No, yes, including everything that's later on in this movie, is that the cop is actually sitting in traffic and not driving down the shoulder on his motorcycle. Because that is not true. Have you ever seen a motorcycle cop sit in traffic like that?
Yeah, no, he's not doing that.
No,
No, he's
he's
on the
in the
shoulder,
shoulder,
with you.
gone.
Yeah. He's just pretending
He's
like,
leading
oh,
the way.
I got
He's
important
the
things
Pied
to do.
Piper
I
of
gotta go.
assholes. Another PD, first down.
So here's the thing about movies. They're supposed to suspend your belief, right? My hardest thing with this is that they're in Mall of America, which I'm assuming, is that Minnesota?
Minneapolis.
Minnesota. Okay, so they're near.
Mighty Duck.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, Jermaine, Minneapolis.
Yeah. Triple 1, 2, 3.
St. Paul, Minnesota.
Triple deek.
Triple
Deek. Anyways, so
No,
the
you idiot. I don't know how to skate. Anyway.
suspension of belief is that everyone's like totally, yeah, thank you for that collar flip. Is everyone's totally fine with like this is Minneapolis, Minnesota. Hold on, Trey's just lost.
Hey.
Okay.
You know what's sad, dude,
Yeah.
Trey?
All right.
Every time I think, now I look at things, ever since I can remember,
That's what's going through my head.
popping my collar.
Welcome
That's
back
why I
to
started laughing.
Welcome back to Nostalgia
Welcome
Land.
back to Nostalgia Land. We're talking again about Jingle All The Way. So the whole part of a movie is to suspend belief, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I just can't believe that anyone's like, hey, this is Minneapolis, Minnesota. Why does your husband talk like a deeply German man?
He's
Why
Austrian.
does he have such a thick Austrian accent?
He's
and your
huge.
son
Is-
has no accent
accent,
whatsoever.
And
And
also,
your son
yeah.
is
Also,
whiter than paint.
also, your husband is enormous, and he sells mattresses
Right.
for a living.
Well,
And he's overworked and doesn't spend any time with your family.
Yeah.
When is he in the gym?
He's not hitting the gym.
No, he lifts all the mattresses.
That's it. He's like my number one customer because I order 50 mattresses and I carry them to your car all the way to the house. No, the whole thing about him, and they kept trying to shrink him. Like I noticed, they would
Big
put him-
overcoat.
big overcoat, or like when he's
Until
at
the very end of the movie.
he's in the house
Right.
and like they put that giant
Shirt.
t-shirt on him,
Yeah.
and they're like trying to make him look like he's swimming in it. And
They're
this
trying to
is-
make him look like he's
Yeah.
a normal size.
Yeah, well, you're a normal person who doesn't go to the gym like 6 days out of the week.
6 days.
Yeah.
He only
Hold on.
misses 6 days a year.
Oh, I sleep there. That's where I sleep. I sleep under the barbells. Anyways, so that was my whole thing about like, and people throughout the movie pick fights with this dude.
Yeah.
And it was like, no. If that guy shows up and he's trying to get his toy, I'm like, let that dude have the toy. I'm fine. I don't need the medical bills right now.
Ted, Phil Hartman's character is walking
Right.
a real fine line.
The only fight that entire movie that's believable is when the giant kicks him, and you're like, yeah, you're a bigger human.
Yeah, okay.
But
which
not
I
by a whole
imagine,
lot.
right? And I imagine when they first like wrote this movie, they're like, all right, like some like a normal, fairly big guy came around. And then when they cast Arnold Schwarzenegger, they're like, we got the big show. We need
Is
to
Andre
go
the
to
Giant
this.
still
Yeah.
alive?
Is he still alive? Is that your thing?
Was he
Well,
still
originally
alive?
they wanted the Sinbad character to be played by Joe Pesci.
Really?
Then it's
Oh.
like, we can't have Joe Pesci. Arnold's literally a foot taller than him.
Which would be funny. You'd be make him a little ankle biter.
Well, then you're making twins. You remember twins? Danny DeVito.
Yeah, this was that time that that Arnold had gone from full-time
Body
big
builder.
time
True
action
Lies
hero
and, like, yeah.
to kind of obscure kind of comedies
Wait.
where he did Kindergarten Cop.
Kindergarten cop.
Kindergarten Cop.
Shut up. Sit down. Hold on.
That movie's awesome.
Yeah,
though.
that movie's great.
You know, a movie
Detective
that
John
I
Kimball.
love, you know, a movie that I absolutely love that gets so trashed, and I can see why. You know, I'm not blind to it. Is The Last Action Hero?
That's a great movie. I love that
And
movie.
everybody
actually.
hates on that
I
movie
know.
so hard, and I'm like, watch it, and I'm like, yeah, I can totally see why you hate this movie, but I love the hell out of it.
This is a great film.
Have
yeah.
you seen it?
Seen that movie?
Oh, man, you
do
should
yourself
see
a
that
favor.
movie.
Do yourself a favor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll have to find it.
It's the
Watch
same
it.
kid from Kazam with Shaquille O'Neal, not Shazam. with
Never was made.
that was no, I think it was. I'm on this fence. Okay, so we can get to
Is
that
that the
point.
Mandela effect?
All right, this is the Mandela or the alternate universe effect. So okay, so
Like, you're saying we're
Sinbad.
living in the multiverse?
Yeah, the multiverse. Yeah. So Sinbad, there's this belief out there that he made Shazam, which is about a magical genie, and there's the Shaquille O'Neal version, which is Kazam with Shaquille O'Neal. So sorry, Shaquille O'Neal, and Sinbad. And the whole idea is like Sinbad is like, I don't remember making that. And then he's like, and then the people are like, no, I remember seeing it. It's the craziest thought.
Have you
Like
looked it
people
up on the
have.
interwebs?
I have. And like I can find a Shazam and it's out there, but like the fact that people are like, no, I remember it wasn't Shaquille O'Neal, it was Sinbad. And that they're so adamant about it. Like it does to me, like it's like little hints and ticks in that I can't find a movie poster. I can find one like little clip or like a still of a clip, not even like a full like rendering of a movie. But that's just me. So if anyone out there who's watching or listening, if
To
you
talk to Kevin.
Hey, Sinbad.
remember Shazam, yeah, hey Sinbad, clear this up.
Brooks had so many movies.
If you remember Shazam or if you remember Kazam with Shaquille O'Neal,
I remember
which
Kazam
I
with
remember
Shaquille O'Neal.
because Shaquille O'Neal raps.
Kazam.
I remember
you can
Blank
do a
Check
better-
with Sinbad.
You can
Yes.
do a better
I remember.
Shaquille O'Neal.
That's
than
the
that.
one where he's the president. Which is the one where he's the president? First kid.
First kid.
First kid, that's with Sinbad.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can
He's
do
the
better.
bodyguard.
Shaquille, who's like, I am Kazam.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm a rapping genie. I'm gonna do what I feel. Sorry.
Plus I was snaking the paint.
It's too bad.
At average between
Charles
snake with
Barkley.
barbecue chicken.
Charles Barkley doesn't like anything. Charles Barkley's a man.
Hey, that's terrible, Shaq. I'll tell you what. Dwayne Wade is crazy. He's a crazy man.
Wow. Wow.
We're digging deep. I
mean,
in those
wow.
barrels, yeah.
And I'm
Digging
over
out.
here like struggling to do Arnold.
Please just keep doing
$94 for pizza.
Good night. Oh, good night, everybody. We'll see you later. So this one, so he's an overworked mattress salesman, and he
You know, I
just
watched
keeps,
this movie like 5-6 times
Are you serious?
preparing for this.
I could watch
this.
it. I watched it one and a
Now,
half.
granted, the first time I watched it,
Yeah.
then I would play it as I did other things.
Yeah.
I heard it in the background a few times.
Yeah, but I never knew that he sold mattresses. Never picked up on it one time.
Yeah.
I knew that he worked and he called everybody his
Number one customer.
Number one customer.
Thank you.
But
He calls his wife that.
Yeah, I didn't need it.
Oh no, honey, I'm sorry.
She's shopping at the shop at Arnold Schwarzenegger. But yeah, this movie is just ridiculous, and
It's just all about consumerism.
It's banana
Just-
sandwiches.
so basically, what I saw somebody. I can't remember. I wish I could give credit right now, but I can't remember which person I was watching said this. But the movie, I think it's the Nostalgia Critic.
Yeah. Yeah.
That said, like, the movie.
Which we need to be friends with that guy.
Yeah, it doesn't define itself.
Yes.
It's so all over. It doesn't. It can't decide if it wants to be this like more adult movie that's commenting on the consumerism and then it goes into these weird like child moments that take you completely out of the movie and it's just very confusing.
Yeah.
the
You
whole
get like an
time.
episode of Power Rangers in this
And then
movie.
anytime Sinbad opens his mouth, it's like, oh jeez, oh jeez.
That's definitely referencing like the times, like, the moments.
And
of
I
this
like
episode.
Sinbad back in the day. He's not a great actor, but I enjoy him in this
works.
movie.
He works.
But there's parts of this movie where it's like, dude, you're so over the top right now. Like, especially the first time you meet him
Yeah.
when they're outside
in
the
the
department
store.
store and trying to get in, or the outside the store, and he starts strangling the lady in the mink coat,
Just want to choke him, grab him.
and nobody in the crowd's like, hey, buddy,
Hey, quit it.
You want to not do that to that poor lady?
I just feel like it's too close to like when the term "going postal" like became.
Well, and they make a lot of jokes
Jeez.
about that in
And
the
they
movie,
do,
too.
yeah, dude. Like they
People shit
really.
bombs all the time.
Yeah. I just have a feeling. I was like, man, whoever wrote this has kind of a vendetta for some of this stuff. Like, as like, it's a little too harsh. It's a little too on the nose.
They were a male person.
Yeah. There's just
My father
issues.
was a male person.
My father. My father.
Father should have helped.
So this overworked mattress salesman, he's forgetful, he misses out on everything, and he tells his kid that he got him a Turbo Man. He tells his wife that he got him a Turbo Man doll. And this is the Tickle Me Elbow Buzz Lightyear doll.
Yeah, he misses his son's purple belt karate promotion.
Yeah.
And tells
whole
him
thing.
like that the special thing he's gonna do for him is get him this Turbo Man.
I promise. That's a really bizarre thing that the kid does, where he's like, "You already missed the yellow." And he's like,
No,
"But
he's like, I saw you get yellow.
and he's like, "But you missed the blue."
Yeah.
And he's like, "But,"
In white.
he's like, "But I saw the whatever."
Yeah.
And he's like, "But you missed the purple."
Yeah.
And that's only 3 away from black.
Yeah.
It's like,
Thanks, buddy.
Okay, that means you have 3 more chances for me to go.
I could totally be there next time.
Friggin' relax, Jamie.
And then let's go and take a look at Phil Hartman's character.
Dude, okay. I was like, where
Dude,
is
Phil Hartman,
sexual
though?
predator?
Thank you for
like,
saying it, so I didn't call him Tom.
My God, like in the dictionary it was like this guy is just looking for it. Like he is all like every woman in this crowd in this small
So
neighborhood
unrealistic though.
is like, oh yeah, thanks for
dude,
coming over, fixing that. Oh, thanks for taking care of that. Oh, thanks for driving me here.
Well, and they're all
It's
like
bro.
about him.
Yeah,
They're
but
no
into
dude
it.
that looks
you're
like Phil
the
Hartman.
Best, yeah.
It'd be about it.
Phil Hartman. Yeah, no, I'm just like you're comparing Phil
He's trying to
Hartman.
close.
Yeah,
He is. Yeah.
Phil Hartman to Arnold Schwarzenegger. And I'm just going to tell you, is in terms of like a male specimen, for one, I'm going to like, if I was going after it, I'm like, I'm gonna
Like
take
if this
one.
movie was made the other way around,
Yeah.
it would make a lot of sense. Like,
Yeah.
Like an average Joe, not
That
Arnold
sells-
Schwarzenegger,
that sells mattresses.
mattresses.
and then single Arnold Schwarzenegger, like,
oh yeah, I'll fix your
I'll
lights
totally
for
take
you.
care of you.
I'm from Australia. We do this.
to fix your plumbing?
I'm going to pick you up and carry you like a baby.
I won't need any tools.
Yeah.
There won't be any water
I use
involved.
my little fingers. So this would have been better if like Billy Crystal was the main guy, and he's like, "Oh, so I gotta go. You can't be Mr. Karate. I'm sorry. I just did." I don't know if that's what Billy Crystal sounds like anymore, but it's sorry. You could have called.
you have like everybody has like the one line.
Yeah.
He goes,
Yeah.
It's Jim Cummings.
It's Turbo Man.
Oh, jeez.
Get a Turbo Man doll.
You're right. You destroyed your voice screaming.
I can't.
Yeah,
from
wait
yelling
for
at
it to
that,
heal.
at,
Get
that, at that football game we're not going to
I
mention.
want to get a Turbo Man.
No.
It's almost. It's
You gotta
close.
let it heal up.
Keep
You
it
gotta let
working a
heal
little
up.
bit, yeah.
All right, so he goes out on Christmas Eve to find an impossible to find toy at every toy store. And you got to remember, like, when I was trying to explain this to my kid, because she's like, why doesn't he just look on his phone? Amazon has solved so many. Like, if you want to look at every episode of Seinfeld, if they just had cell phones, none of it would have happened. Like, all of it, like, they could have just texted, did you mean what you said? No, I didn't. Like,
well, if
the whole series would have been.
If they weren't terrible people, none
that
of it
as
would
well.
have happened.
Right. But if they had cell phones and could text each other, like, none of that would. A lot of that whole series would never
goes
happen.
away.
So my little kid was watching it, and she was like, "Why doesn't he just look
Seinfeld?
on the phone?" Yeah, she watches Seinfeld with me.
Okay.
No, was watching Jingle All the Way. With me to understand, like, okay, he's looking for this toy, and I had to stop it. And I literally went on a 10-minute rant with her about back in the day, if you wanted a toy or a movie to rent, you had to call the Blockbuster or the KB Toys or the Toys R Us or the Macy's and ask them, do you have this? And so you had to wait on the phone and, like, go through the whole thing.
You could put it on layaway.
Yeah. And, like, somebody had to tell you, no, we don't have that anymore or not. And you use a phone book. She was confused by the the phone booth situation.
Yep.
She's like, what is that? And it's so funny how, like, the sign of the times are like, this movie doesn't age well. It doesn't do well.
It didn't age well like a year later.
Oh, yeah. Like a year after it was big.
As soon as it was released, it was like, this movie's old.
This is bad.
You get the equivalent of a Power Rangers episode.
Yeah.
In this
I
movie.
love that, actually.
That was, I think it was the director or the writer.
Introduces you to Turbo Man. And what was his sidekick's
No,
name?
he wrote the movie because of a Power Rangers doll. Like, it was a mixture of Chris Columbus with the Buzz Lightyear doll.
Okay.
And like experiences that they'd had with watching people look for Power Rangers
Trying
figures.
to get the Green Ranger.
And,
Dude.
Yeah.
The Green Ranger was the jam, by the way. Yeah. Did you have the ones that could, like, flip the head?
Beep, 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 beep. That's how you call the Dragonzord.
That's right. Gotta call the Dragonzord.
No, so sorry. Keep going. So it was written by this, and it like, was the whole experience was just him trying to find a toy for his kid, or was
he was. I think he was young, and he saw, like, people going crazy over this Green Ranger, and then he brought it to Chris Columbus, who was a producer on the movie, and Chris Columbus rewrote the script, and he used some of the things that he saw looking for this Buzz Lightyear toy.
Yeah.
Bud Lightyear. Good old Bud Lightyear.
It's
Buzz's redneck brother, Bud.
It's like, somebody please
He's
say
a little
something.
slow.
Yeah.
You could say something. You're here too.
You're right.
Too busy laughing.
Jump in there.
Yes.
No, it's fine.
Don't single yourself out. But like you were saying, the Turbo Man commercial is totally
Like a Power Ranger episode. Yeah.
totally.
Yeah.
It's the good guy comes in, beats the little minions up,
Yeah.
and then saves the day.
Yeah.
What's his sidekick's name?
Booster.
Booster. Nobody likes Booster.
Hey, dude, everybody hates on Booster.
But that was the funniest part that Sinbad had in the movie, is where he's like, we don't want Booster. We hate him. We don't want it. We don't want it. We don't want it.
He's screaming it over and over again.
Yeah. So they keep going from store to store. They're just like literally every time the doors open, people are like bum rushing. It's Black Friday. It's Black Friday. Which can either of you remember when?
No,
has
it
Black
wasn't.
Friday
It
always
wasn't
been a
Black
thing?
Friday.
No.
No.
I'm just
In
talking
the
like
movie, it's Christmas Eve.
No, it's Christmas Eve, but just as a reference, like it's what Black Friday used to be pre-pandemic, which like
Not even pre-pandemic. Like
Yeah.
pre-online shopping.
yeah, but like I mean that's what every Christmas store. But can you remember when Black Friday became that way? Like, do you?
No, it was that way.
I mean, as
ever
long as
since
I
I've
can
been
remember.
alive.
As long as I can remember, right? That was always after Thanksgiving. Was that
Day after?
We gotta look it up and do some reference.
And I
to
feel like
history.
my parents never had, because they did our Christmas shopping in like Memorial Day.
Yeah. Well, they were smart in that way. Yeah, that makes a lot of
My
sense.
dad's
Dad's a planner.
Yeah. Dad's a planner.
Dad's a planner.
It's color coded.
Love that. No, but I loved it when. So they go out. They're trying to find this, and he's at the first toy store on Christmas Eve because he's like, I gotta go to the office. I bought the Turbo Man like 2 weeks ago. He's lying to his wife. That's the whole thing. The whole movie is just lying. That's him.
Yeah.
And that's what's hard, I guess, like to like this character is like he's
He's a horrible
hard-
person.
Yeah.
With a terrible accent.
It's hard.
You still talking about Bud Light? Bud Light.
No, but his whole thing is just like he's lying to his kid. He's lying to his wife. Like he's lying to his neighbor. Even like, he's like, no, I'm doing that. And like, he goes out Christmas Eve like 8 a.m. to go find Turbo Man, and he's
really bothering Trey that he can't do the Winnie the Pooh thing. I heard him just go.
Oh, we're not getting anywhere with this episode. This is too much.
It's just falling apart.
It's just falling. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're saying?
So anyway, so it's the whole movie is just about lying, and then like the kid calls him out on it. It's like you
The
promised.
kid's the only one with like moral stance.
the
in the whole movie.
The kid's like
Turbo Man never breaks his promise.
Yeah, and it's like you always break your promise. So like you never there for me.
Yeah,
You
he
gotta be like,
screams at him on the
you gotta
phone.
be like
He does.
Turbo Man. Never break. What is it? Oh shoot! Never break a promise. Never lose your friends. What,
Yeah, something
what's
like
this?
that. Yeah.
Oh man, it's like
Yeah.
right on the tip of my tongue, and I can't grab
I feel
it.
like that was like the catchphrase they were trying to put on the
yeah.
VHS box.
Always keep your promises.
Yeah.
If you want to keep your friends.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah. And no, and Arnold Schwarzenegger's not doing that. And the whole time, Phil Hartman's trying to move in on his wife. And like every wife in that cul-de-sac. Because
Well,
you find out
all
that
the
he's
other
divorced.
wives are moving in on him, and
Yeah.
he wants Arnold's wife.
Yeah. Which I'm like, dude, who are you
Ever
picking?
since they shared that moment where she asked him how to marinate ahi tuna.
That's right. Yeah.
What's the deal with both these movies and tuna?
Oh,
silver
yeah,
tuna.
the silver tuna
Silver
with Home
tuna.
Alone we did last week.
He
And then,
develops
yeah.
a boner for her when he.
Excuse you, this is a Disney movie. It's semi. We're allowed to say semi. Yeah.
Thanks, Polly Shore.
Yeah. Thanks, Polly.
Crawl. I miss you, Crawl.
Yeah.
Love you.
He
Middle
develops
America.
a super semi because he's all about and like he's just forcefully putting himself on all of these women in this cul-de-sac, and he keeps like showing up like, oh yeah, I already wrapped this present. I baked those cookies for you. Like I'm in your kitchen, and one of my favorite lines from this whole thing is like, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
What's his name in this? God, I even forget his name. Richard?
Harold.
Harold? Is it Harold? Yeah. Harold. So Harold's out and he's looking for this and he keeps calling the house and his wife.
Well, he
is
just
never-
calls the one time.
Yeah.
Which then they
He
just
calls like 2 or 3 times, but his wife is never available.
Yeah.
And it's Phil Hartman like
the first time.
having an orgasm over the
Yes,
cookies.
over
He's
cookies.
like, oh, these
Yes.
cookies. And he's like, and
Every
then-
time that made me uncomfortable watching
Yes.
that.
Oh
Like,
yeah, no. And then Arnold yelling, "Those are not your cookies!
Don't touch my cookies.
Yeah, who said you could eat my cookies?"
Oh, I think she's in the shower.
Want me to go
would you
check?
like me to go check? No.
No,
His name's Howard.
Howard.
Oh, Howard.
Howard. Ah, what's his last name? Hit it up. We'll find it out. But anyways,
Winkler.
Langston.
Langston. Howard Langston. Yeah, it's
Howard Langston Hughes.
Oh gosh, dude. No, so like he the whole time like.
Howard Wet Noodle.
Well, like he just keeps coming up with like excuse after excuse after excuse, and like his whole run-in with the cops, every interaction of this
Dude,
movie.
how is the guy not in jail?
Every act, yeah. I was like, hold on, dude. There's a strike 3 for a lot of these things where it's like you get your license revoked. Like we're definitely taking you downstairs because you keep showing up in a problem.
Well,
And
the
he
second-
had the biggest out right at the beginning.
Yeah.
He goes out looking for the stuff.
Yeah.
And he ends up going to the I guess it's when he goes with the Santas.
Yeah, that's
And
the
then he
biggest
comes
thing.
back to his car.
Yeah,
And his car is completely stripped.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And it says Merry Christmas on the
On the
windshield.
windshield. Well, then he tows the car home. All he has to do is go in. Oh, no, that's the end, kind of, where it goes into the Christmas Eve thing, because that's when he comes back home. The tow
he's-
truck drops him off.
The tow truck drops him off, and they're leaving to go to the parade.
Well, that's when he comes in and Phil Hartman is putting the tree, the star on his Christmas tree.
Star on my tree.
Yeah. And she's telling him, like, she's like, what are you doing? And he's like, the star, it's Christmas Eve. The star is not on your tree. You got to have the star on your tree.
Tell that guy to go home.
Yeah.
Like-
How about you get out of my house?
The fact that he like
Take your
forces
wet noodle
her.
kid with you.
Yeah, no, but he's like, go take a shower. Go take a shower. Like I'm cooking, and then like he has this moment where he acts. She's like out of earshot, I guess, and he's like, shut up.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
The children behind him.
Because he
and it's
burns
like, oh
himself
my
on the
gosh,
sugar
dude.
cookies.
No, it's such a weird mix of people, and like the chemistry of it doesn't feel good. Like
You know
it's-
what it
it's-
is?
Yeah.
They were making pasta. They needed a bunch of wet noodles.
Yeah.
So this is our first pasta.
They're making pasta.
Okay, we got the kids.
Pasta's
We got
the only-
Sinbad.
Hey.
Pasta's the only food that you have to. It starts off dry, then you make it wet, then you dry it back off.
Yeah, exactly. Just to put sauce on and make it wet again.
First you wet the dries, and then you dry the wet.
First you wet the dry, then you dry the wet, then you wet the dry again.
Yeah, no, but the whole motivation behind this movie is he tries several times. He goes to maybe 3 or 4 different Toy Stories.
And he does all of this in the span of like, this is another time warp movie.
Yeah.
Because he does all this like span of 4 hours.
Yeah.
before like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, which is what I'm assuming. It's all supposed to be before a Christmas parade that takes place somewhere
In the
down
afternoon.
town in the afternoon. And
Like
he-
on Main Street.
Yeah. And he's leaving at like 8 o'clock in the morning, and he gets to places like at 9. Anyways, so he does that, and at first he's like, I'm gonna try, and then he gives up after he meets the Santas at Mall of America, who basically are running like a
toy racket.
a toy racket.
That
And
is insane.
I want to
They
give
literally
credit.
have a gang of
Santas.
200 Santas.
Yeah.
All
And-
shapes,
and
sizes,
elves.
colors,
And little people.
ethnicities.
Yeah, and
little
I want to give credit to it because Danny Woodburn, who I've seen him in. Actually, we talked about it in our Home Alone. He's in a couple of Tales of the Crypt ones. He plays Tony the Elf, and so he's
he's
Jim Belushi's elf.
Right hand
Is that
man.
the same guy who's in Bad Santa?
No, different guy.
Oh, okay,
No,
okay.
different guy. But
I know. Okay, yeah. I was
So
thinking
his
a
name's
different person.
Danny Woodburn, and then Troy Vern, who they get
Vern
to
Troyer.
Vern Troyer. Yeah, I'm thinking
Troy
of it as
Vern?
Hello,
Troy
Laverne.
Yeah, thinking of it as a phone book.
You're thinking of Vern. Hey, Vern.
Hey Vern. Well, they get him.
Seems horny.
They take him to this like back street, like
Dude, they take him
warehouse.
to
Like a factory.
No, they
Yeah.
take him to like a outlaw complex. Yeah. It is fenced
It's like a
in.
zombie
The Santas are
apocalypse.
guarding the gate.
It's like a zombie apocalypse
It
outpost.
is.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah,
It is. Look,
Yeah.
World War Z broke out.
Right on the river so they can get fresh water.
They're in The Walking Dead. And anytime Rick's going to show up,
Yeah.
it's getting weird in here.
So they find out. So he's like, okay. So they lure him to this warehouse way out in the sticks, like of the city of Minneapolis, I'm assuming, and they're like, "We have a Turbo Man," and he shows up and he's like, "It's like the
It's the
bilingual,
Spanish.
yeah,
It's the Spanish Turbo
yeah,
Man.
it's the international," and it
When
falls
he's
apart.
Like, he's like, don't look at it.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I wouldn't do that. As
No,
soon as he
no.
opens it, like all the pieces fall out.
Yeah.
Like it has Lego Ejecto like button on it. Like, why is,
Ejectocito, cuz.
yeah, like why do you have a button on this doll that makes it shoot off every piece of itself?
So Arnold Schwarzenegger's like calling them out, and he's like, "Okay, I'm going to like report you," and like they basically attack him.
Yeah.
And so all the Santas come together to attack him, and they do this one scene where they fire a little person like 30 yards.
So when he gets kicked by, or when he gets punched by
Punched by
the giant,
yeah, and he fired this little dude across the whole factory.
did his own stunts.
Yeah,
He did for real.
because no one else could do it.
Yeah.
It's just
you could
him.
use a doll.
No,
but he
could.
did it.
No, that's just him.
Yeah.
No, and I was just like, oh my lord, like the way they abuse some of these actors back in the day. They're like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna be a little person and fly across. Like we're not no holds barred.
They tried out for the part.
Oh my gosh, but they did it. But
got paid.
anyways, but the whole motivation that he gets after that, because he's pretty disheartened by it, his whole motivation is that Sinbad tells him like, I wanted this doll when I was a kid, and
I
I
didn't
didn't 7
get it.
guns. I didn't get it, but my neighbor friend did, and now he's a billionaire.
Yeah.
And like,
What did he found?
That's
He
it.
founded oh man, what is it?
You know, Scott Schroeder.
Yeah, or something like that.
Schroeder Industries or something
He
like that.
does that, and he's a big guy. He's a wig.
He got the 7 OMA gun.
yeah. And
That's
Sinbad's,
what made the difference?
Yeah, and
that's
that
what
made the
made him a
difference.
billionaire?
and like Sinbad
That's what
says
made you a
something.
loser?
Yeah, Sinbad told me, he's like, look at me now, like I'm just a loser. With
And then
God,
it
Dad.
superimposes
he's a
his
mailman.
Yeah, it's
it
a good-
superimposes his kid drinking the whiskey. He's like, it's okay, Dad.
Yeah, Jake Lloyd,
Yeah.
tiny 6-year-old
There you go.
Jake Lloyd drinking whiskey at a diner.
Drinking like what looks like a Mad Dog 2020 bottle.
And
Yeah,
this diner
yeah.
is like fine with whatever.
It's
Like,
the
It's just that
Moonlight
one
Diner.
guy. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, you want coffee?
Yeah.
I'll give you a call.
And they get
Yeah.
into because he tells them about the radio station. The radio conveniently gets louder than everything else going on. It's where they hear that this Turbo Man contest is happening.
Yeah.
And they first caller with the reindeer.
Who can name all 8
Dasher,
reindeer?
Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner, Blitz.
That was good.
Very nice.
That was good. Sounded just like it too. Yeah, all right.
I let it heal up.
Then they get into
let it heal
there you go. They get into the full on brawl like right in the middle of the diner.
Yeah, no way Sinbad's outrunning Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No way.
No.
Absolutely
And
not.
they make a big joke about that.
I love
too.
that, actually.
He's like,
I love
could
that.
do this all day.
This is fun. I'm having a good time. Oh, good. I missed my workout this morning.
And he keeps doing the Donna dance. I can't do it.
Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner, Blitz.
Yeah.
He misses Rudolph, by the way.
Yeah.
Just gonna throw that out there.
Well, that's
He misses
number
Rudolph.
9. That's
They hadn't started abusing Rudolph yet.
That's the bonus answer.
Yeah.
You get 2 Turbo Men.
So he busts into the radio station though. Just that thing.
And
is-
he says it. He
Yeah.
rips the door off.
He
the hinges.
kicks it and it smashes. I wonder if that was a blooper.
yeah, if he
that
meant
they
to or
left
not.
in the
I
movie.
thought that too because he kind of like there was a look on his face of
Yeah.
like, oh shit.
Yeah, he kicks the door and it looks like it's just supposed to open.
Yeah.
And that thing hits and just shatters.
Yeah.
And he's like,
Donna Blitz in the phone.
yeah, then he starts back
Dasher,
in.
Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner, Blitz.
Wow. Impressive every time.
Yeah, they're like, no, it's not to win a Turbo
Yeah, you
Man
get a
right
Turbo
now.
Man eventually.
Eventually.
What we have is a
Coupon.
coupon or a gift certificate.
No, but then like he playing into like the postal service.
Well, then that's when Sinbad comes in.
Postal.
And
Yeah.
he pulls out a package and starts telling everybody that it's
a
a
homemade
bomb.
bomb.
and-
It's a
bomb.
well, that
turns
was
out-
a real thing back in the day.
Yeah,
Like,
but
I
that
know.
one
and
is
you know what? You know that was related to. This is off topic, but
Oh,
an
please.
interesting fact.
Take
There-
us on
there
a
was- I
journey.
can't remember the name of the machine, but there was this mail sorting machine that basically would shoot you letters so quickly, and you needed to put them in the boxes that you were supposed to put them, and it was overtaxing people so much that it was breaking them. Like like
What?
yeah.
Wait, what?
The people going postal coincided with this machine coming out, and they were worked so hard by this machine
Yeah.
and trying to keep up with what they needed to do
Yeah.
that they were literally snapping, and they would get fired and they would come back and shoot up places. And
Wait, was that like in reference? So do you remember the scene? And we're going on a side quest here. So join me on
need
this.
that Hobbit music.
Yeah. I'll add it later in post.
Okay,
So
cool.
note to myself.
Note
put,
to self.
put that in post. Anyways, so is that like a scene from Men in Black 2 where
The guy's in the machine.
the
He's
guy's in the
throwing the
machine, and he's
things.
throwing those letters
Yeah.
everywhere, and he's like listening to heavy rock music and like chain smoking like a cigarette. And the one thing that Tommy Lee Jones says, no smoking. Like
Yeah.
totally fine with like this is an alien person with like 4 arms and like huge eyeballs.
And like
so,
Biz
fine.
Marquee is the.
Oh
Yeah,
yes,
Biz
Biz
Marquee.
Marquee. Oh baby, you. Oh man,
You got what I need.
Oh gosh, yeah. Join us. That'll be on the Nostalgia Land playlist anytime soon. I will put that up there.
There you go.
Anyways,
There you go.
Okay, so that's why
show. Good show.
going
Cheerio. Cheerio.
postal. Is that where that came from? Was it
Yeah.
because of that machine? That's
I mean,
that's
it's part of what coincided with that whole era of like people literally going crazy and like shooting up.
dude. Because I had a hard time with this. I was like, that's like a solid job.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's benefits. That's good work. Like,
yeah.
It's It's a
I feel bad for postal
necessity.
workers now that are
Oh
like,
yeah, and like
you know.
they just like trashed all over. They let Sinbad's character just like completely blow that out of proportions. Of like, this is the bomb, and
Yeah, it
it's
was
like,
definitely a stereotype back in the day.
and he just
absolutely
and he came together and he's like, this is the bomb, and he's like, I know it's a bomb because I deliver a bunch of these and I know the ones that are
Exactly.
bombs. So I hang on to one just in case I want a bomb. And I'm gonna blow up a radio station for a doll, but like, yeah. So Sinbad's whole motive is
so that my son doesn't become a postal worker.
a postal worker, yeah, which is a decent job. Thank you to all our
good
postal
job.
workers out there, especially the ones during the holidays. You make it happen for us. So thank you for
And
your
Amazon and UPS.
Amazon,
FedEx.
everybody, anyone who has to deliver packages, man, thank you guys. Yeah, because I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it.
I don't want to go
worst-
shopping.
I don't
The
want
worst
to.
is like
Yeah.
when you're driving around like it's like 10 o'clock at night or whatever.
Yeah.
On like a Tuesday.
Yeah.
And like an Amazon truck goes by and it's like, oh man,
Tuesday.
You're still like, as the closer it gets to holidays and stuff. It's
Yeah.
like, you guys still out here? You
Yeah,
poor
like, that
guys.
guy's missing dinner. Yeah,
Yeah.
just have a
bad.
sit
Guy's
down.
getting paid time and a half, baby.
I hope so.
I mean,
yeah.
They're banking.
I
Then good
hope
for
so.
you, buddy.
Yeah, but
Good for
get
you.
out, deliver
Our
them
oldest
packages.
brother always wanted to work on Christmas Eve.
You know what? I'm gonna order more just so you're out there. I'm gonna get on that Amazon.
You're a mean one.
Okay, it was a point. You didn't have to celebrate it.
Sorry, my bad. Anyway, no. So
then
the
he-
climax.
Yeah, well, the
Or what do you
the
go
package
for?
ends up flying
Being
in
a
the
music
air.
box.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
music
he's like,
box in the
"Get
radio
down."
station. He does.
And then it's a music box, and then the cops show up, and he pulls out
Because
another
the radio
package,
host called the cops.
right before they came in and whatever, and then he pulls out another package and does the whole bomb thing with the cops,
It's not a bomb.
and
The same cop that's been
what does
pulling
he
over.
say to Arnold? He's like, "I'm crazy, right?"
Yeah,
Right?
and he's like,
This
he's
man
like-
is absolutely insane.
Yes, exactly. And then so they run out, and
the same cop that's been pulling him over like the whole movie.
yeah, he's been in
like-
trouble with the cop twice because
Yeah.
he got the ticket
And
driving
then
in
he
the
knocked
shoulder,
over his motorcycle.
and he broke
Yep.
his little mirror.
broke my little mirror.
Broke my little.
Oh.
And then I still don't understand. Like, he gives the cop the package, and then they run, or does he
He's
throw
like,
it in the air? And
no,
they run?
he tosses it to him.
Yeah, and
he's
then they
like,
just like run away,
"Relax,
and the
Junior."
cops are like,
And they're
"Okay,
like,
bye."
and they're
Yeah.
like, it's a bomb. And he's like, it's not a bomb. I did 10 years in the bomb squad.
Yeah.
Like, he opens the package, and you just hear, and Sinbad.
Funniest part of the whole movie.
Yeah.
Funniest part of the whole movie.
That's the best
payoff
gag.
of the bomb.
And then
And
it
then
cuts back to the
They
other
cut
officer.
back and destroy the gag immediately
And-
because
but-
the officer is like,
How many years?
"How many years from the bomb squad?" And he's like standing there looking like Wile E. Coyote with his hair all done.
Yeah.
Like, oh jeez.
Oh god. So the climax.
We even forgot to
sorry.
include from the beginning with weird molester Ted
Phil Hartman.
that he's got the reindeer.
Yeah. It's all about making Junior's holiday special.
Yeah,
He
and
went out and found a reindeer.
Yeah. And then he's like, "What are you gonna do with him after Christmas?" And he's like, "I've been watching a family of deer down by Lake Minnetonka. I'm gonna
Sorry.
Down by Lake Titicaca.
I'm gonna take him down there and
If he
let him
accepts them, it'll be
go."
one of their own.
Sorry. My only problem with your impression is that Phil Hartman does not talk at a normal human level.
That's the one time
Ever.
though where he like changes it. And
Okay.
that he starts doing that like weird seductive radio voice where
okay.
he's like,
Yeah.
"I'm gonna take him down there with that," and it's like, what is going on here?
Give it real low. Let me get to there.
Yeah, you know. Oh, hello there. It's a lady. But he's like, "I'm gonna, take him down there to Lake Minnetonka and see if they accept him as one of their own."
This family of deer. Yeah. Because the whole time he's like,
been watching a family of deer down by the lake.
yeah. Because the whole time Phil Hartman's like
by the river.
volume level is up here, dude. He's like,
he's doing the.
I'm gonna make
It's
some
Troy
cookies."
McClure.
Yeah.
That kind of bullshit.
It's Troy McClure.
Yeah, there you go.
You remember me from such films as Last Night's Dinner.
Cookies in bed. I can't even do it. I'm surprised I can't do an impression.
Oh, yeah, get you on those ones.
Hey, I'm bringing you $94
turkey over here.
$94.
But, yeah.
walking in.
And then it gets to the point where he calls home and the little kid yells at him.
Yeah.
And he's like, "I've had enough to deal with this Turbo Man."
Yeah.
And the little kid's like, "Oh, screw you, Dad. I love Turbo Man."
I'm gonna
Yeah,
grow
good
up and
for you. You're a liar.
I'm gonna grow up and kill a bunch of younglings.
It's the moment that broke Anakin.
That's the one. He couldn't get his Turbo Man, so
There's
he went
a
to a galaxy far,
Sandman.
far away. Yeah.
Yeah.
You see that bit where Spider-Man, him and Anakin and Spider-Man are comparing enemies, and he's like, "I had to fight like an evil space wizard who tried to take over the universe and manipulated me into killing a bunch of people." Spider-Man's like, "Wow, that's intense. The toughest guy I have had to fight is like Sandman," and it cuts back. He's like, "There's a freaking Sandman."
Yeah. There's a Sandman.
For all those listening, it's because Anakin hates sand.
It's coarse.
It's coarse. It's
Gets
rough.
everywhere.
Gets everywhere. Ruins relationships with Padme.
But so then they go to the parade.
Right.
Wait.
Oh.
Not there yet.
Oh.
Okay. He comes back from his car,
that's
and
right.
Phil Hartman's putting the thing, and so he decides that he's going to steal the little kid's Turbo Man.
That Phil Hartman got for his kid.
Right.
Yeah.
Which at this point in the movie, I'm thinking right along the lines with him, like, hey, why don't you just go steal that jerk's
Yeah, bro.
toy?
Just go get it, dude.
And then you think like, well, he's stealing from the kid, really? Okay,
And it says
whatever.
like I love you, Dad.
yeah, yeah. And so he has the change of heart and decides, like, what am I doing? Like, I'm not doing this.
In the process,
What am I doing?
he burns.
No, then the deer, the
Attacks
reindeer
him.
shows up. The bloodthirsty, like,
Yeah.
demon deer
Yeah.
that hates Arnold Schwarzenegger. It must be the Australian accent.
Austrian.
accent.
Excuse you.
I was like,
no,
That
actually,
was a Freudian slip.
did you know
good
there's
day, mate.
Did you know there's a counter there's a counter in Austria for people who have flew to Austria rather than
Oh my
Australia?
gosh.
Like they have
That is
a
funny.
tally of like 300 and something.
Dang.
Like they went
It's awesome.
Where's the
this one.
no, it's the, like another
Yeah.
tally.
Oh, another tally. You're just like another one. They flew to Austria, not Australia.
We got ourselves
They should
another one.
install a turnstile so they don't have nobody has to man it. It
Yeah.
just kick.
Yep. There's just one. There's just one airline that gets all the people who flew the wrong country.
Air Australia.
Right country airway.
Australian Airways or like Koala Air has a hub in Austria because they have
Koala
to,
area.
Yeah, they'll call it "Get It Right this time." Damn it! Look at your ticket. God.
Kangaroo Express. Let's
Yeah.
do this.
Yeah.
Baby Joey.
So this he's doing the digger's do.
You know what movie that's from?
Tommy Trigger and the Stamp Traveler.
Oh,
know,
Tommy.
baby.
Oh,
Yeah, there's a guy who plays a didgeridoo.
dude, how often we're gonna bring up Tommy
Dude, it's a through line,
Tricker
baby.
and the
Stays
Stamp
in my brain. It
Traveler.
lives there.
If you have time this holiday season, please look up
obscure
YouTube.
movie.
Remember like the core memory thing? That's
Yeah.
for us. It's Tommy
That's
Trigger
it.
and the
Yeah.
Stamp Traveler.
That's
Tall
the
trees.
one. That's the one from
Tall, big,
Inside
tall
Out
tree.
that pulls up for you
Yeah.
guys a little ball. Ding, ding,
No, you remember those little like
ding,
Disney things that you had that like you hit the orange thing and it like
Oh, the slide, like
Yeah.
the
That's what it is.
Yeah, that's for you guys. Okay.
every like fourth reel it just goes back to a
Yeah.
Tommy Trigger and the Stamp Traveler.
Tommy Tricker and the Stamp Traveler.
There's movies in there on rotation. Grandma's Boy.
Yeah, yeah.
Different movies that just stay there.
But
Batman.
Tommy's in there hard.
Oh, yeah,
Tommy's in
Tommy's
there
in-
deep.
Tommy
deep.
Little Big League.
Yeah.
Just listen to these episodes. You'll hear them. You'll know. You'll know.
No, you'll know.
It's like, another slide came up.
So we're still talking. So we were still talking about the psychotic deer
Right.
that has it out for Arnold.
Starts fighting with
It's
him.
vying
Yeah.
for the alpha spot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess
Yeah.
that's what it is. Yeah,
It
He's
identified the alpha.
Exactly.
It wants it dead.
Oh, it needs
Then
me.
then he ends up knocking over the wise man, and the head falls off and goes into the fire. And then he can't manage to get the fire out.
Yeah.
So he kicks it
it.
through the window where the carolers are.
Which we've talked about carolers.
And
That's
could
actually
those
gone-
carolers have gone on about the damn figgy pudding any longer in that scene?
Figgy pudding, figgy
Bring
pudding.
us some figgy pudding. Oh, bring us some figgy pudding. I'm like, did they go back to the beginning and like
some
cycle
more
back? Like, what's going on? And then that's funny when the
One more
head.
time because of Biggie pudding.
Say that, say so. So the head comes flying out the window, and Phil Hartman is like, "Oh no, Balthazar."
Balthazar.
my favorite wise man. And these aren't like little. These aren't like a little nativity scene. These are like full.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Full
in his
size.
living room.
Size,
Yeah,
in
full
his
size.
living room.
Those are outdoor Wiseman.
Yes.
This guy
Yes.
is, it's psychotic. Like
Yeah,
this
he's
guy,
got
he's
problems.
murdering people. Like he's
And
went
then-
through a tough divorce and he's turned to like
he
murdering
snapped.
folks. Yeah.
And so
He's
they,
lucky to be alive.
Well, so they come in to see because they see the broken window, and he's holding the Turbo
He's
Man.
standing right there, like 3 feet from him behind the glass.
Oh my god. Yeah.
I was trying to put out the fire.
No, let me explain.
Yeah.
I have to tell you the long story. And she's like, I don't want to hear
You
it.
broke into his
Yeah.
house.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you've told me that I've been listening to your truths for years.
And yeah. So I mean,
I wonder if that was the first instance of your truth,
Oh,
my
jeez.
truth, that makes me want to vomit.
so that's the hardest part of this movie is
Not vomiting.
not vomiting.
Dude, the sincerity in your voice. Just the hardest part of this movie is not vomiting.
Just keeping it in, just holding it together. I watched this on a full stomach for a while.
Ooh, Thanksgiving.
Some more Thanksgiving leftovers.
Yeah,
and
you
this
should
was
have pooped
tough.
first.
Yeah, I should have let that one out. You're right. No, but the whole thing is like saving the cat of this guy. It's like, okay, sure, he wants to please his son, but his whole premise is on him lying to
if
his
if you just lie enough times.
Yes,
Yeah.
if you just lie enough times, you can have an amazing marriage.
You lie your way into a parade.
Fantastic player. Yeah, and that's a yeah. And like,
I'm fantastic. You're fantastic.
oh man. So okay, so it climaxes at the end where he like randomly walks behind.
No, he's running from the cop.
Yeah, he's running,
He's
from,
running
the
from the
cop yet
cops.
again because he made him spill coffee on
the
himself.
same one who made him spill coffee. Yeah,
and he runs like into an access
like a
door.
warehouse
Yeah.
access door or something like that.
And it's where the Turbo Man float in the parade is being prepped, and apparently
And
they're
it just happened that their main guy gets knocked out.
no,
Oh,
he
no, like,
he had a
hurt,
mishap with
Horribly.
the
Horribly injured.
yeah.
Yes,
with
yes,
the
yes.
with the jetpack.
I was trying
Yeah,
not to step
before.
on what Trey was saying without, what
No,
he's
I
saying.
get you. I get you.
Yeah, so, but he happens to fit into the costume like it was
Perfectly.
molded for him.
What Sylvester
Molded by
Stallone?
it.
Sylvester Stallone was
Yes.
the actual
Yeah.
Turbo Man.
Who else were
Yes,
you
like-
expecting here?
He was
Because
born in
that
it.
suit was literally
Ivan Drago.
molded for him.
so
Molded by it.
they turn him into the real life Turbo Man.
Turbo Man.
And he like complete with jetpack too. which I'm
And
like,
he has the boomerang, and he's
And
got
the,
like
arm shooter thing.
he's got
disc
the little
shooters.
disky bits.
yeah.
He's got the
Disky bits.
He's got the songs that remind him of the good
Oh,
times.
I
He's
want
the
that
songs
one.
that remind him of the best times.
Thank you, Chumbawamba.
Yeah, he's got the little like the little Oreo cookies thing.
I still wish there was a scene where it's, I get knocked out.
I think that song
I got
was
the
out
disky
yet.
bits. I got the disky bits.
I don't think that's. I got the booby bit. I got the disky bit.
Booby bit.
Sorry.
I got the sooty bit. I got the fly bit.
Yes. Yes. So he's like really getting into being Turbo. Being Turbo Man.
Well, and the
Turbo Man.
sidekick, the guy I can't remember. Booster.
Sinbad.
Booster.
Yeah.
Booster keeps telling him, "Wave, stupid!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Get it
do the
together."
do the salute."
Well,
Played
they
by
love that-
Curtis Armstrong, who played Booger from
Yeah, Booger.
Revenge
Yeah,
of the
from Revenge
Nerds.
of the Nerds.
Yeah, okay.
And
He's
then at the end of the parade, he gets to pick a child.
Well, they're like, we got the voice augmentation, so you can
Yeah.
speak and it'll tonally make you sound like him, and he's still up there sounding like Arnold. Like, okay, you changed the pitch of my voice a little bit. It doesn't really make a difference.
Kind of turned into Fat Albert.
Yeah, that was the point. I was changing the pitch of his voice a little bit.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm Turbo Man. I'm a problematic character.
But he gets to pick a child to get like a limited edition. Instead
Turbo
of
Man.
gold, it's silver.
Yeah.
The
Is
T
that what it is?
The T
Yeah.
is silver.
Everything's it's just it's
And
special.
it's gigantic.
Yeah.
It's like this big.
Yeah, it is huge.
It's like a
Humongous.
scoop.
It's freaking huge, dude.
It's like a Zordon or something like that from like
No,
when you-
Zordon was just a head.
No, yeah. What's the Zorg or the
Alpha?
No, when all the Power Rangers come together
Oh,
and they build
the Megazord.
Planet.
Megazord. Thank you,
Oh, no.
Megazord. Yeah, Captain Planet. Appreciate you.
Those are the rings.
By our powers combined.
I was like, Zordon?
Voltron.
What?
Zordon.
I was like,
Sorry.
he's just a head.
My bad. My bad.
I always
So-
thought that was crap. Real quick side quest.
Yeah.
The Power Rangers have to come all together to make
The Megazord.
the Megazord.
Megazord.
And then you got the Green Rangers like,
Got my own.
wait, he didn't have to join forces with anybody. He's going to
That's-
kick our
that's 'cause
ass.
that was made by Rita Repulsa.
Whole
Because
time he was
originally
like,
he was a bad guy.
yeah, he
Yeah.
was. Yeah, and the whole
Then he
time he's
turned
like,
into
I'm gonna
White
make
Ranger.
my own. Yeah. He's like, I'm not joining you. I'm make my own.
Then he became the most powerful because he was the White
I
Ranger.
think they're making another movie.
So terrible. You know what I mean? Like, couldn't you make him like
I knew where you were.
the you know,
the Gold Ranger.
yes,
Something
Change that
else.
color
Yeah,
a little
gold.
bit.
A little bit.
And his Tiger Zord just transformed on its own. Didn't
Yeah.
he become like,
Nobody called it. It was like, oh, you need help?
and his sword could talk.
It's true.
It was
Dude,
a
he was
flute.
like,
It was a flute.
why is this guy so much better than all of us?
Why are we even here?
Why does he have the Ocarina of Time in his sword?
Navi's in the sword. Hey, listen.
Never mind. He sucks.
Never mind. It's not worth it.
Okay, so back to Turbo
He
Man.
picks Jamie, of course, to give him Turbo
Right.
Man.
And right
Fair
when he's
enough.
about to tell
And
him,
crazy Sinbad
yes,
knocks out the villain.
who's standing up on the rooftop
'Cause he's-
smoking a cigarette.
Yeah, because he's supposed to like zip line in.
Yeah.
And becomes the bad guy. And like tries to steal chases this kid around the city.
And everybody thinks that it's like part of the act.
Part of the show.
The
It's part of the
policeman is
show.
like, oh, it's part of the act, man.
Yeah.
It's part of
It's
the
like,
act.
that's my son. This is not part of the act.
Calm down. Your son's about to scale a 40-foot tall building. Just let him go. Yeah.
Okay,
you're
now
fine.
side note, the production behind it. They filmed this scene in the dead of summer in Orlando at Universal Studios.
I thought so. Okay.
That's why you get like all the off-brand, like, you know, Cat in the who the hell is that excited about Cat in the Hat and a damn
right.
Yeah,
parade?
but you get Leonardo.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get some stuff like that was back in the day.
It was weird to see SpongeBob in there.
But it was so hot.
Yeah.
Because the suit that Arnold was wearing, they had a cold vest like built in, so they could pump cold water through, and he wouldn't like just die of being so hot.
Yeah.
But Sinbad's suit was so hot that the water in the helmet would start to boil.
Oh my god.
What? He gets because it was glass and it would like focus the sun.
So you gotta wear this boiling pot of water on top of your for like 8 hours today.
Yeah, but his suit had a cooling thing too. Yeah, but his head was also boiling.
Yeah,
So.
seriously.
Doesn't really help.
I thought that was like
My
such
body
a
feels
crazy-
great. My head, not so
A
much.
little different.
Hey,
No.
you're a better actor now, though.
I think I want to go make. I think I want to go make that Shazam movie. I heard so much about it.
All these people think I'm a genie, so let's just do this.
No, dude. I thought I recognized some of that street.
Well,
some of
imagine-
those- some of
But
those
imagine
backgrounds
having
and
to be
stuff.
the little kid wearing winter clothes
Yes.
in Orlando.
But that's the thing. So when we did that episode of Gremlins, it's like you can tell when these people it's not cold out. Like they maybe have pumped snow and they're keeping in the shade, but like it's hot and these people are
It's
miserable.
hot. Coming in hot.
It's bad. Yeah. No. So Sinbad attacks him and
they're
he's trying to
they're
get
climbing like this fixture, this Christmas
tree on top of a building.
on top of a building. Yeah.
It's like a billboard.
Yeah.
And Arnold is trying to figure out how to
Well, the
work.
kid is like screaming at him, and he is like,
Use
you can
this.
hear him. He's like way over there up on top of a building. He's like, the jetpack. Like, oh, but the part I talked about that I thought was a little funny was the news people are the ones saying this stuff, and
Gale Force.
yes,
I loved him.
that's
He's a
what I was saying.
weatherman.
He's
Yeah,
a
he's like,
weatherman.
I'm weatherman Gale Force. Oh,
I love how they like what's it? They like restack their papers in unison.
Yeah.
Like, Gale Force will be right there. Click.
And then when the bad guy, when Sinbad comes in as the arch nemesis, she's like, "Oh man, it looks like Dementor or whatever his name is.
Yeah, Dementor, that's right,
Has
yeah.
defeated Turbo Man.
Yeah.
There goes the universe or whatever."
Oh no, we're all doomed.
It's like so ridiculous.
No, you just got a postman who's hijacked a show. Essentially.
Exactly. No, we actually that kid is gonna die.
Yeah.
Somebody help him.
We're getting
Gale,
real close to a
get out there.
felony. Yeah.
You better use some force.
By the
if
way,
you know what I mean.
it's 97 degrees here in Orlando, and most of these actors are dying.
And we're in a park.
Yeah, we're in a park. Yeah.
Can I take this damn scarf off?
Oh
Scarf
my
off.
gosh.
Scarf off. Now, please.
So it all comes and ends that he basically he won by lying just this whole movie
No,
through.
at the end he tells them that he's actually Turbo Man.
yeah, he's done.
And then he falls on his sword and says, "I've been neglecting you.
Yeah.
I've been terrible."
So sorry.
And then Jamie gives the Turbo Man to Sinbad.
yeah.
They'll let you take that to prison.
He's in handcuffs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's like,
oh.
"Hey, son." Yeah, but Jamie, didn't you want that? I have the real one at home.
Oh God!
Yeah,
I would have
cute.
been like, I would have been so upset. I'd been like, no! Like, you were taking that home with you. I don't care about the costume's not mine. It's staying here. It's going back to Party City. You're
not
taking the damn toy home.
It's not going to fit anybody.
No, yeah, I was gonna say
It's
that was molded for
form-fitted.
him.
Yeah, it's molded for
Molded
him.
It was a plaster mode. Just
Oh my gosh! No, like the whole it ends in such a weird note in terms of like oh yeah, we're fine with whatever just happened. This guy basically tried to kill my son, throw him off a 40-foot building in the middle of like a crowded street of a Christmas parade. And yeah, all right, yeah, he's going to jail. You get the
And
toy.
then
Go
he gets picked up on the crowd's shoulders for being Turbo Man.
Yeah.
That's how the movie ends.
Yeah.
Cut to black. That's exactly where it goes. It just
And then
Yeah.
there's a post-credit scene.
I thought so. Okay,
I
because
didn't watch it.
I didn't get to it.
Shoot.
But I saw
not
it and
worth
I
it.
turned it off. What was it though? It was like him
So stupid.
putting the
It's
star.
them. He puts the star on the tree, and then the wife is like, you know, it was incredible hearing about everything you went through for Jamie's present. It was all for his present.
Yeah.
So it got me thinking. And he's like, yes. She goes, would you get me? And then he like does that stare down the pipe thing, with like Jingle All The Way too. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. You didn't miss anything.
Which, by the way, there is a Jingle All the Way too.
Yeah, I don't need to jingle
Is
any other
Arnold
way.
in it?
It's with Larry the Cable Guy.
Okay, wait, that might be better.
That might be a little. I might believe this one a little more. And
What's
he's
his, what's his name? Bud Lightyear.
Bud.
That's his psychic.
Oh God.
And the whole movie just goes, get her down!
I don't care who you are. That's funny.
All I saw one time of one of his movies was when he's the health inspector, and he like the whole opening credits, and I turned it off immediately because he's like going through. He lives in a hole in the ground basically, and he's supposed to be the health inspector, and he's in the shower and he pees and it comes out like lime green, like that's just how unhealthy it is. And I immediately turned it off. I said, I'm done. I'm not watching the rest
This
of
movie's
this.
not for me.
He's
isn't
great
it.
as Mater.
This isn't it.
Yeah, he is.
He's good as Mater. I will give him credit for that.
And his stand-up's funny.
Yeah, his stand-up's
used to
all
be.
right. Yeah, he used to be all right. But I'm not watching his. I'm not
I'm not. You
or
can't.
his Jingle All the Way anymore. I'm done with that one. Oh,
I didn't even want to jingle all the way the first time. Why would I go for a second?
Jingle All the Way. Conan O'Brien went after Arnold for this movie. Like, and so like because back in the day he used to have Arnold. It would be a picture of Arnold and the mouth would be cut out. And
Yeah.
so it was
It'd
a
be
guy.
Conan?
Yeah.
It would be a guy
Like an
doing an
impressionist?
impression of Arnold. And he went up to he's like, you need to go see my new hit movie, Jingle All the Way. And every time he said it, it had to be him yelling. And it's one of the funniest things you can look up on YouTube. But I think that does it for me in terms of this movie. It just ends. Like it just
Yeah,
ends.
it's not a very good movie.
Yeah,
It's a recipe for a crap movie.
Yeah.
But if you want to
It's
look
entertaining, though.
it's entertaining.
It's a movie.
Yeah, it could be a lot worse. Like it's if you got nothing else to do, if you're looking for a holiday movie and
If
you don't
you're
feel
gonna-
like watching any
If
of the
you're
classics,
gonna watch one
I
movie
would
this holiday season,
Don't
watch
make it this
Santa
one.
Claus. But if you
Yeah.
watch two,
watch A Christmas Story.
Yeah, I think that's good. We should end on that. We should tell okay, if you watch Jingle All the Way, let's now fill the gap with something good, right? Okay, and I
Christmas
think
Story, Santa Claus is
Christmas
great.
Story, Santa Claus. I personally, I gotta say, and I hope we do it with the Muppets Christmas Carol. That's
yeah.
on my list.
watch Elf.
Elf is brilliant, but honestly, for a short, like if you want a short one, there's always Charlie Brown, Charlie Brown Christmas
Sometimes
Story.
Charlie does frown.
Christmas special. Charlie does. Yeah. Little side.
Sometimes that joke moves that ball.
Yeah.
One, I don't know if you guys ever watched it, was Mr. Bean Christmas.
No.
No,
Oh, go watch it. It's on YouTube. To all
Mr.
our
Bean
viewers,
is my hero in Rat Race.
Mr. Bean's Christmas.
No, that's Enrico Pauline.
Look at this room.
It's one of the funniest little shorts, and it's only like 20 minutes. It's a Mr. Bean episode, so it's like 20 minutes. It is absolutely hilarious, and it's a classic in our house. Like we watch it every year, and it's so funny. So, I mean that's all I can say about this movie. Any of the weird facts or anything else you want to share or any problems?
I mean, everybody that worked on this movie had nothing but the highest praise for Arnold. They loved
being
the
a
hell
nice
Oh,
out
I
of the
hear
dude.
he's like a great dude.
Loved the
Yeah.
hell out of the guy,
Yeah.
and they said that like he had so much fun doing this movie. It's like that's what it's all about, And like,
could we bring him back and like do like a Jingle All the Way, but like he's like the grandpa of Jake Lloyd's kid trying to find the
all I know
toy?
is he should like do some serious stuff, and if he comes back. If he's coming
becomes
back
the-
as the Terminator.
Becomes the mayor.
Becomes the governor.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to find the
We're going to
Turbo Man.
save California.
Yeah. Because everything gets a reboot these days, and including Power Rangers. So why not bring back Turbo Man? Like, I don't know. Like, we could do it.
You just
make a
bring
Turbo
back
Man.
Turbo Man and
Yeah.
make him Turbo Man.
Yeah. Just as Arnold.
You don't even
Turbo
have Jingle
Fan.
All The Way.
And Turbo Man's trying to get an Arnold Schwarzenegger doll for his kid for Christmas.
Oh, God. Or the Last Action Hero. That's it. He's trying to get the Last Action Hero doll.
Dude, you need to watch that movie. Don't forget.
He's trying to
need to
get a
jump on it,
Predator
yeah.
doll.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Oh, Predator? Sorry. I thought you meant Child Predator for some reason. I thought we were like,
Chris Hansen's back again. I thought we were going to get through a full episode without mentioning him.
sorry. I was like, the Predator doll.
No,
I was like,
I
who are we talking
meant
about?
the actual creature, the Predator.
The hunter. The hunter.
Yeah, the apex Predator.
Oh, God. I'm so lost now. Okay.
I think that hat is boiling your brain.
It's starting to cook. It's hot. I brought it up, and now I'm regretting
There's
it.
Steve
It
coming.
looks good, though.
Yeah. Thanks.
Killing it, both of you.
Mine's got ears on it.
He's
Yeah.
got ears.
They don't
Got
make
some
hats
Mickey.
like that
Yeah.
big enough for this noggin.
Knocking on Nick.
What'd you say?
That was a thing on Nickelodeon back in the day. It was
Knocking on Nick.
noggin.
Noggin
Nick.
on
It had
Nick.
like a bunch of.
Before Noggin was its own thing, right?
It had a bunch of like educational shows, and they
Yeah.
wanted to make people pay extra money for it. Nobody bought it. Well, I'm sure some people did, but not a lot of people did.
Yeah, I think that's the end of the road for us. Anyway, so thanks for joining us again.
Thanks a
Happy
lot.
holidays to all of you out there. Enjoy that movie if you want to watch it, or if you don't. That's totally fine. It's up to you.
If you got one you want us to watch,
Have a few
Yeah.
drinks.
Let us
have
know.
have a good laugh.
Yeah, that should be it. Honestly, whenever Arnold like goes you should take a shot.
No.
I think that just makes it a little easier.
sip.
Sip.
A sip.
Sip. We're not trying to kill anyone.
Tiny little sips.
Yeah.
Yeah. We
Little siblings.
tiny little bitty one. Anyway, so thanks for joining us. As always, you can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and we also have Trey's Back to the Playroom, which he'll be gaming, playing on. I don't know.
Well, we finish Spider-Man pretty soon if
Hopefully.
I can, pull it together.
If by the time of this recording
By
it's
the
not
time
done,
it's recorded, if Spider-Man's not over, we'll be like the last mission, or I'm really struggling with a boss and I'm probably broken a
just
controller. or two.
totally angry.
Yeah.
just
Tyler and Matt are
furious.
cracking up.
That's our
And then I'll
Christmas.
probably have started something else. Maybe I'll play like something fun and easy for Christmas. I'll play like Super Mario World or
Yeah,
something.
something
Do something
classic.
you
Do some
enjoy.
classic. Yeah, man.
No, I do
Always
enjoy
beat
Spider-Man.
yourself- No, but not that you're beating yourself up to beat.
Yeah. Take some pressure off, buddy.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's fine. You don't need to do that. Anyways, as always, I'm Matt.
I'm Trey.
And I'm Tyler. Cowabunga.